Hey everyone, my name is Mindy Banks. I'm the Flip Flop Chef. Welcome back to my kitchen. I'd also like to welcome you to my salad in a jar class. This has been a very highly requested class and I'm excited to finally get to share it with you guys today. So the first thing I want to do is explain what salad in a jar actually is, and then I'm going to actually show you a little bit later how to build a salad in a jar. I'm also going to give you a couple of other snack and lunch ideas that you can take on the go. So if you're going to school or if you're going to work or if you're traveling, then these are some great options for you. So let's go ahead and get started. If this is the first time that you've joined me, I hope you'll click the subscribe button while you're here, and also be sure to go to theflipflopchef.com and click the button at the top of the page to join my recipe community. There you're going to find thousands of recipes as well as my weekly giveaway. I give away a big prize every single week and I would love to see you in that recipe community. So first of all, let's go ahead and talk about what salad in a jar actually is. So this concept is not new. It's something that's been around for quite some time. I actually did salad in a jar classes when I lived in Georgia, and it's very popular and it seems to be coming back around. And it's basically where you build multiple salads at one time, all in mason jars. You can use glass jars, plastic jars. The ones I'm using today are BPA free. These are from Pampered Chef, but unfortunately at the time of recording, these are not available for purchase. Maybe at some point they'll bring them back or they may show up in our clearance outlet, but for the video today, this is what I am going to be using. There are some other options that you can get on Amazon, and if anybody would like some of those links, just let me know and I'll be happy to share those with you. The great thing about this is you can build your salads in jars for multiple days at a time. Some people say they make jars for 7 days, for a whole week. So all they have to do is grab one out of the fridge and go. My recommendation is to make them for 5 days just to make sure that everything is really, really fresh, especially if you are adding in protein like chicken or any other cooked meats. Then you definitely want to make sure that you are not making these for so far out that they wouldn't be fresh anymore. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to let me know in the comments, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you about the salads that I have here. Then I'm going to show you some other snack ideas and then we'll build a salad together, okay? So are you guys ready? So first of all, I went to a salad in a jar class earlier this week and I thought, you know what, this is a great time for me to record this because I have 3 salads already ready to show you guys. So I have 2 here and I have 1 in this carrier. So let me tell you about this so that I don't forget. This is Pampered Chef's Make and Take Mason Jar Carrier. It is a discontinued product, but at the time of recording this video, this is available in our clearance outlet. So if you're not familiar with that, Pampered Chef has a clearance outlet. You can access that through my personal website under the shop page and then under the sale category. So if you need a direct link, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to give that to you. These are available right now and I love these. Not just for carrying salad in a jar, but this bag will actually hold 4 cans of soda and 4 of your regular, like the narrow baby bottles. And so this is a great thing, not just for salad. It also has a little pouch on the side, which I have the fork and spoon set. This is available from Pampered Chef. It's considered a replacement part, but I love this for many things. But my favorite thing about it is if you're gonna be eating your salad out of the jar, we made this so that it would fit all the way to the bottom of the jar. Now you can purchase these and use them with your glass mason jars if you don't have Pampered Chef's jars already. All right, so let me show you the salad I have in here because I wanted to show you that this bag will accommodate a wide mouth jar and ice packs to keep your salad cold. So if you're traveling with this, you definitely want to put ice packs in here to keep them cold. So I have another salad here and I have 2 of these small ice packs. Now they've been in here for just a little bit and so they've already started to defrost, but you can also purchase the kind that are like wrap around. They're flexible. I don't know if you've seen those. They have like the little bubble pattern and you just sort of wrap it around the jar. Those work great too. I had some of those, but I think that they didn't make it when we moved here to Florida. So this is perfect for the mason jar carrier. And then some people like to put the freezer mat or the cooling mat on the bottom, and some people like to put one on the top. I just put one on each side, front and back of the jar. So this is the Make and Take Mason Jar Carrier, and it is available at the time of this recording. So depending on when you watch this, hopefully you'll be able to grab those before they're gone. So these 3 salads are completely different. I made one of them in the traditional way to make a salad in a jar, which is where you start with the dressing in the bottom of the jar. The other ones I actually used Pampered Chef's, the lid is actually a 2-part lid. So if you have these and you didn't know that this was available for you, pull these out and you'll be able to put your dressing in the top cap here. I have another suggestion for holding the dressing, because personally I don't like to put the dressing in the bottom of the jar because I feel like it does keep it less fresh for as long. So you'll be able to make these and keep them longer if you don't put the dressing in the bottom. This is just a peach cup container. So you know, you buy the little snack cup type, I'm trying to think of how to describe them, but they go in like lunch boxes, little fruit cups. Save the container. Applesauce containers work too, but look, this will fit right inside and the lid will fit on top. And this works for glass mason jars that are wide mouth. So it's important that if you're gonna get glass mason jars, that you get wide mouth jars so that you have room to fill the jar, because you don't want to have a narrow opening trying to stuff everything in. So you want a wide mouth, and you can also repurpose these little containers and put it on the top and still screw the cap on. You can also use these little containers for holding your salad toppings, all right? So let's talk about how you layer your salads. So I have this really great picture resource that you'll be able to find in my recipe community. So if you are not a member, remember you can go to theflipflopchef.com, click on the button at the top of the page, it'll redirect you to my recipe community, and this is where you're gonna find this resource. You can print it off or you can save it on your phone. But this is gonna tell you how to build a salad, and it is using this as an example, so it has the dressing in the top lid. So depending on what jar you're using, that may change a little bit. But you're gonna start at the bottom of the jar with your grains and beans. Today I'm gonna show you how to make a chicken burrito bowl. We're gonna layer one of those in my empty jar here, and we're gonna use black beans and quinoa. So stay tuned, I'm gonna get to that in just a few minutes. Then you're gonna put your hearty and juicy vegetables next, delicate vegetables after that, then greens go on the top of that, and then any toppings with protein, you're gonna put those on the very, very top. Now, it tells you on the side, like how much of each of those things you're going to want to have. And this is gonna help you have salads that don't get soggy. So if you follow this formula, then you're gonna be pleased with the salad that you have several days after you make it. So that's in my recipe community. This is a salad with fruit, and I do have the dressing. I have a balsamic dressing in the top, and this one has pineapple, strawberries, blueberries, mandarin oranges, spinach, and then in the top is balsamic vinegar. So that is a great salad also. Then this one here is pretty basic. I have just red peppers, orange peppers, tomatoes, and some romaine lettuce in here. And I put some broccoli sprouts on the top there. And then I have an Asiago Caesar dressing in the top. Now, I'm gonna use this other one here as an example since it does have the dressing in here. So let me set this aside, move things around a little bit. I have a bowl here. So if you don't have the spoon and fork set like this that's gonna reach all the way down into the bottom of your jar, you can take your jar and have a bowl ready. So if you're at work or if you're traveling or at school, what you're gonna do is you're gonna shake your salad in the jar, just like this. And if you're storing the dressing on the top here, you can pour it in, shake it up, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna transfer it into your bowl. So this fills, you see how nice this size this salad is. And then you have everything ready to eat right out of the bowl. This is when you would add any of your like crispy toppings. So I'm gonna show you some suggestions for salad toppings. So this one would be good with like tortilla strips. This dressing I think came from a local restaurant here, and it was like a cilantro lime dressing. I haven't tried it yet. This came from the salad in a jar party the other day, so I didn't provide that dressing. But this one would be really good with some tortilla strips. This is just some regular pita. So like pita strips, these are not salted. You could get salted or unsalted. You could add wontons. That's a nice crispy thing to add. And then I like to make my own homemade croutons, which I have here in one of our reusable silicone bags. Now in this bag, I have croutons that I made with just a loaf of French bread. And I have a recipe, and I believe there's a video also in my recipe community showing you how to do this. And so I make them and I keep them in one of our reusable bags, and it keeps them nice and fresh. So this is when you would put your crispy toppings on the top. Now this is another fun one, and these are chili lime toasted corn. So these are really good and gives a nice little crunch. This is actually probably what I'll put on this salad because I'll get to enjoy this after I finish this video. And I've got some grilled chicken that I'm gonna add to that too. And since I knew I was gonna save them for a couple days, I chose not to put any meat in these at the party that I went to, but I have some that I can add. So the next thing I want to talk to you about before we build our chicken burrito bowl is I want to show you our bento box. I'm going to show you our cup slicer and then give you another idea for another snack that you can make in a smaller mason jar. So let's first talk about our bento box. Now, the bento box is really cool and it has this strap that kind of holds it all together. And so you just pull this strap off and then this comes apart into two separate pieces. Now this right here has a lid that comes off. You can put a napkin in here, but you see I have another spoon and fork set right in here so that I have that available. I don't fly very often, but when I do travel and I'm flying, I always pack a bento box with snacks because I'd much rather have something that I choose over, say, a pack of cookies or a pack of peanuts, right? So in our bento box, you're going to see I have a couple of things. So in this one, I have some yogurt, which I made in my deluxe multi-cooker. I have a video and recipes in my recipe community for you to find. And then I have this little plastic container. You can get these at on Amazon or at a restaurant supply store. This has got some orange curd, which I like to add a little flavor to my yogurt, and so I stir this in the yogurt, and then I've got granola to top it with. So that's one thing that you can do, and you'll notice that this one has a divider. Now this one, I just have fresh fruit, so you could choose to enjoy this fresh fruit on its own, or you could mix it in with the yogurt. We're gonna add a few other fruits in here. So I've got cantaloupe, raspberries, and some sliced grapes. I've got some strawberries and some other grapes here. I wanna show you our cup slicer. The cup slicer, you guys, it is really a showstopper. So I'm actually going to zoom in here and let you guys see this up close and check this out. So I've got some grapes and some strawberries. Now this little piece on the bottom is kind of like a protective cover when you're storing it, but you also need it for that last cut. And I'll show you how that works in a second. But check this out. I can just take this and I can just slice, whoops, my grapes are flying away here. I can slice my grapes easily, just like this. This is a great product that you can get your little kids involved in and your big kids. Just know if you're using this with little kids, those are blades on the bottom, so make sure you're watching their fingers, okay? So look, we've got our grapes in here, and then I'm gonna turn these up like this, and we're just going to slice these up. Whoops, I missed that one a little bit. For the last one, you're just gonna press just like that, and it's gonna pop everything that might be stuck between those blades right out. And check this out. I can transfer all of that in here, and this goes right in the dishwasher for easy cleanup. And so I like the bento box, pairing it along with the salad in a jar idea, because look, we've got some healthy snacks now, and we also have a salad in a jar. So I'm gonna put the, whoops, that's the wrong lid. I'm gonna put the lid back on this, and then these will actually stack back up, and I'll put those in my refrigerator. All right, so the next idea is something that you can make using a smaller mason jar. And I just have a little bit of hummus in here. I'm gonna dry off my cutting mat here before we move on to the chicken burrito bowl. But in this small jar, I have some hummus. This is roasted red pepper hummus. You can make this in the deluxe cooking blender, and that recipe is also in my recipe community. And then I've got some carrot sticks, and I cut the carrot sticks using my crinkle cutter. And the really cool thing about this is it leaves a crinkled edge on those carrots, and it's gonna make it easier for you to dip them. So you can dip them in the hummus, and the hummus doesn't drip off as fast. Same thing if you're using like ranch dressing. You can dip those carrots in ranch, and it has little grooves that the dressing can kind of sit in. So it also looks fun and pretty. So that's just a separate bonus idea, and you could use like the little small mason jars for that. All right, are you guys ready to build a salad together? So I'm gonna show you how to build a chicken burrito bowl. But for those of you watching who wanna host your own like salad in a jar party with your friends, what you're gonna do is you're gonna you can choose to provide all the ingredients for everybody and provide them, or provide them and ask everybody to help you contribute to the cost, or you can use like a sign up form and have people sign up to bring ingredients. So the party that I went to, everybody brought just a few ingredients each. We put them all out together. If you want to see those pictures, or if you have already seen them, they're in my recipe community. And then we were all able to build our salads. And it's a great way to kind of have lots of variety of ingredients. And then everybody brings a few jars and they start building their salads. And then you take your salads home and you have lunch for the next few days. For today, I didn't want to have tons and tons of ingredients that wouldn't get eaten in time because I'm just one person here and my family wouldn't be able to eat all of this before it would go bad. So I'm just going to show you how to build one salad and give you just a little bit of a spin on your traditional salad toppings. So like I give you 3 examples here, but today we're going to make a chicken burrito bowl. So I'm going to set this bento box aside here, and I'm going to bring a couple other things over here and wipe this yogurt off my arm. But I do want to also tell you, you can make your own dressings, and I have so many recipes that I posted this week in my recipe community. I'm going to read off some of these because I'm not going to remember them all. And one that I haven't shared that I'm going to is a creamy Parmesan peppercorn dressing, but I shared already simple vinaigrettes with the variations. So you got just a regular vinaigrette, Asian vinaigrette, balsamic, ranch, honey mustard, a regular creamy dressing, and then a whole extra link that has about 8 additional vinaigrette recipes. And so you want to make sure you check that out and print those off. If you don't want to make your own and you don't want to buy store-bought, another option, I love Chick-fil-A and I love their salad dressings, and you can actually purchase these separately. I'm sure that every store may have different prices on these, or you can add them on or get them instead of like a sauce. So my kids don't like sauce with their nuggets, so I get dressings, and then I can use these on my salads at home. You can either leave them in the package like this, or if you have Pampered Chef's jars, then you can squeeze it out into the top. My recommendation would just be keep it in the packet until you're ready to use it. But let's build this salad. So we are going to make chicken burrito bowl, and I am going to need my recipe, so I need to get that back. I left it in my stack. Here we go. Because I'm going to have to use this as a cheat sheet today. But we are going to layer this up, and then we're going to make our salad dressing. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our quinoa in here, and I have that in this bowl. And I'm going to zoom in so that you guys can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit up close here. We're going to add the, and it tells you here what to do. So we're actually going to do the beans and then the quinoa. So I cooked this quinoa in Pampered Chef's 3-quart micro cooker plus. So I took a bag of quinoa, not the whole bag. I took some out of this bag. I think it was a 1/2 cup of quinoa and 1.5 cups of water, and cooked it in the 3-quart micro cooker plus, and that was in the microwave. Let it cool off, and then I reserved 1/2 cup of the quinoa for this salad. So I'm going to set these 2 things aside because we need to rinse and drain our can of beans. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take my smooth edge can opener, I'm going to open up a can of black beans, I'm going to drain them over the sink using this stainless colander, and this colander here is part of a set of 3, and I love these colanders because they actually have a really high footprint here, and so whatever you're draining in here is not going to be touching the bottom of your sink, so this sort of rises it up a little bit, and then I'll bring it over with our bowl here. So let's go ahead and open up our can of beans here. If you've never seen the smooth edge can opener, I like to start at the front of the can. We're going to hook the can opener on just like this. So that's what it looks like from this angle. And you're going to twist all the way around until you bypass your starting point. Then you're going to turn counterclockwise. Now you know why I like to start at the front, so I know when I've gone all the way around. Turn counterclockwise and it releases the can. There's a button on one side, so when I push this button, it activates a little claw so I can pinch the lid off. Now the cool thing about this is it doesn't leave a jagged edge on the lid or on the can. So let me pour this in the sink. I'm going to rinse this off, and then we'll drain it in our plastic mixing bowl. So this plastic mixing bowl here is the smallest of 3. So I believe that we have a 2-quart, a 3-quart, and a 4-quart size. You can get them individually or as a set. So let me bring these beans over here. And they are great because they are lightweight. I love that they're easy to handle even when they are full. So for this recipe, what we're going to do is we're going to add about 1/4 cup of black beans. I'm going to just use this little cup here to measure out about 1/4 cup. I measure with my heart, so if you are not one of those people, then you can get a measuring cup out. I just didn't get one out of the drawer. Then we're going to layer our quinoa. I'm going to just use my spoon from the spoon and fork set. We're going to pour the quinoa, and this is cooked and cooled. So this is also a really pretty salad, which is one of the reasons that I chose it. But I also chose it because a lot of people may not think about using quinoa in a salad like this, and I want to give you some ideas. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add some tomatoes. Now, I'm going to use some grape tomatoes here. You could use cherry tomatoes, whatever you like. and I'm gonna cut them with our closing cut. Now, if you've never seen this product, this is when I get to do like magic tricks at my parties, right? So I'm gonna take the chef's knife that comes with the closing cut set, and I'm gonna cut all these tomatoes in half. So I'm gonna do a good handful. I'm gonna fill the plate here. Tomatoes are one of my favorite, well, other than the cheese, I think the tomatoes are my favorite salad ingredient, so I always like lots of tomatoes. You're gonna fill this plate. This is spring-loaded and this is spring-loaded. So when you slide this down, it's important that you're pressing in the middle. You're not just pressing here on the edge, because if you just press on the edge, all you're doing is pushing the edges of those plates together, where you want to push the whole plate on the bottom and the whole plate on the top together so that they're completely parallel. You're going to lift up just enough to get that knife in, and you slide straight across, and check out this magic trick here. Look at this. All of these are perfectly cut in half. So I'm going to put these on top of the quinoa. Then we're going to add a bell pepper. Let's see, get those in there. And if you're doing a salad in a jar party, then these are the tools that you would use to prep your ingredients, okay? And so if you're hosting a party at your house and your friends are coming over for this, what you're going to want to do is have everybody prep the toppings and the ingredients that they bring, prep them before they come to you, okay? Now, I took this out of a mesh bag here. So I love these mesh produce bags because they're great when I go to the farmer's market, or if I go to Aldi. It's a great way for me to kind of keep my vegetables together. So these can also go in the washing machine to get them clean. So in here I also have an avocado. I'll go ahead and pull that out and set that aside. We're gonna slice a bell pepper. Now I'm gonna take 1/4 of this bell pepper here, and I'll save this for something else. And I'm gonna place this on I actually think it does better with the cut side up. So I'm gonna do this into strips, actually like this. I always have to look at what I'm doing to make sure the lines are going in the way I want. And we're gonna take this quick slice and just kind of rock this back and forth, and check this out. We have all of these beautiful julienne strips. But watch this. I can place these back on in the opposite direction and go back over them, and check it out. I've diced this pepper. So we're gonna add this, see if I can scrape this in without making a mess here. We're gonna add our bell pepper, and then we're gonna add some corn, some lettuce, some chicken, and then you can put an avocado in there. Let's see if I can get these off. I love bell pepper too, so we don't wanna waste any of that. All right, so what do you guys think so far? We're getting our salad layered together. And then let's add some frozen corn. Now this corn has had time to defrost. So I've got about 1/4 cup of frozen corn. Let it defrost. And then I've got about 1.5 cups of romaine lettuce. And so we're gonna just put our lettuce in here, just like this. Now at this point, if you are not putting the dressing in the bottom of your jar, this is when you can take your little plastic, you're recycling your condiment cup that had, you know, fruit or pickles or applesauce. You place this in the top, you can put your dressing in here and put the top on here. Or you could put your crispy toppings on here. So it's totally up to you. I have some grilled chicken, and I seasoned this with Pampered Chef's carnitas slow cooker seasoning, and this is my favorite of all of our Mexican flavored seasonings. We have a taco seasoning, we have Tex-Mex and Southwest seasoning. So carnitas is my favorite, then Tex-Mex, then I like, excuse me, not Tex-Mex, Southwest, and then Chipotle, I didn't mention that one, and then Tex-Mex. So those are, we have so many different choices for you. You could just use regular grilled chicken if you don't want to flavor it and you're making a lot of chicken to go on a variety of different salads, then you could do that. So this is our layered chicken burrito bowl, like a salad in a bowl, ready, or salad in a jar, ready to go. Now for the dressing, we are gonna make a lightened up, well, mine's not gonna be lightened up because I didn't use low-fat buttermilk, but we're gonna make, how about we just say, we're gonna make a cilantro ranch dressing. And so we're going to mix that together. I've got some Greek yogurt here, and we're gonna get a lime. Let me get all of our ingredients here. I've got another mesh produce bag. This is a larger size, and I'll give you guys a little bit larger view there. So this is a larger size mesh bag, and you see they have that drawstring there. So I'll get out 1 lime. We've got our buttermilk. I've got my Greek yogurt, and let's see. some Dijon mustard. We're gonna put some fresh cilantro, which I have here in my herb keeper. So this is part of our herb prep set. It's basically a vase for your fresh herbs. So the bottom of this is filled with water, and these two pieces actually separate. So if I want to pour out the water when it gets dirty, I can pour it out and put fresh water in and then snap this back on. So we're gonna also put some fresh cilantro, some fresh garlic, and some salt and pepper. So let me get all these ingredients out, and oops, then we will put this together. How many cloves of garlic? 2 cloves. Let me grab another one here. That one's a little scrawny. Let's get a different one. Okay, so we're gonna get all of our ingredients together, and we're gonna put them in our measure, mix, and pour. So this is a salad dressing jar, and it actually has 2 recipes on the bottle, and it comes with a little card that's going to give you even more recipe ideas, and so you've got lots of options for you. I'm going to put our Greek yogurt in here. So this is 2/3 cup of Greek yogurt, and I'm just going to scrape it out since this the jar is actually more narrow than my measuring cup. So for this recipe, I'm not going to press it out like I normally would. I'm going to scrape it out, and then you can press gently to get anything that's still in on the sides, and we'll add that in to the jar. And so we're going to do 1 lime. Let me set this aside, and we're going to zest it, and then we're going to juice it. So because we're going to do both, and I'm putting this in this container, which has a narrow opening, this is a perfect example of why you need the wide mouth jars. We're gonna, it's hard to zest in this container with our larger hand zester, and it's also harder to press the juice in with the citrus press. So I like to use the juicer and zester. So I'm gonna just zest about a teaspoon of zest. And if you don't know this already, there's actually more flavor in the zest than there is in the juice. So we need just a little bit of a zest here. I'm gonna scrape this off and add it into our jar. And then I'll scrape this out. Much easier than trying to do this with the zester or on a cutting mat or something. All right, then we're gonna switch this out. We're gonna put our juicer attachment on the same container. If you guys have not seen our new steak knife set or our new coated knives, they now, the blades are coated in silicone, and I love these. They are so awesome, and they even made them dishwasher safe, and they are super, super sharp. My husband used one a couple of days ago, and he said, man, they're not playing with these knives. They're so sharp, and they really, really are. All right, I'm gonna zest half of this lime, and we're gonna pour that in, and then we're gonna add in the rest of the ingredients. So I may not use all of that, about a teaspoon. So there's just a tiny bit left, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour it in there. And then we're gonna add our buttermilk. Now I made buttermilk by taking whole milk and adding just a little bit of lemon juice. You could use white vinegar, but for this, half a cup of milk, I added a half of a tablespoon, so 1.5 teaspoons of lemon juice, and you leave it in there long enough so that it curdles a little bit, and then you've got that buttermilk. We're gonna do about a teaspoon of Dijon. Whoops, it's overflowing here. Let's try that again. Try not to make a mess. We're gonna do about a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and we're gonna add some cilantro, some salt and pepper, and some garlic. So let's just go ahead and do the salt and pepper. Sometimes I forget that. And I'm estimating here. The recipe for this is in my recipe community already, so you guys can check that out. Add some pepper, and then we're gonna take our herb mill. I'm gonna flip it upside down, pop this piece off, and then I'm gonna take our kitchen shears, and I am going to take some cilantro. I love cilantro, so we're just gonna put a little handful in there. There's a weighted ball inside of here. You wanna make sure that that's in the bottom, which is actually the top. So when you flip this over, the weighted ball is gonna push those fresh herbs into the mill. Now, I like to shake this a little bit to damage the herbs, to give it a little bit more flavor. So what you're gonna do is you just shake it, but make sure you're holding on to both pieces before you do that. And let's see how much of a mess I'm gonna make trying to get this in my salad jar. All right. Made a little bit of mess, but that's okay. Then we're gonna add our garlic. So I'm gonna take our garlic press here, pop this open, and you do not have to peel your garlic before you use this. So it presses it right through that paper skin. Scrape this off, just like that. And then this little cleaning tool, you just press it right in these holes, and it's gonna press that garlic clove right out so that you can toss it in the garbage. Now, this paper fell off. I'm going to show you the difference. I didn't even plan it this way. Let's see. When you actually peel it ahead of time, you end up with a lot of garlic left behind on the inside, and then you're wasting that. So there was very little skin on that one. And then this reattaches and goes right in the dishwasher. If you lose that tool, message me and I can help you get a replacement for that. Let's see, we've got the lime, buttermilk, Greek yogurt, Dijon mustard, cilantro, salt and pepper, and garlic. So I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything. Let me slide this out of the way. And then this has a little pour spout here, and then this piece opens and closes. When you're shaking this, you want to make sure that you're holding this closed. Just gently shake this, and there you go. So there is our cilantro ranch dressing, which I'm super excited about, and cannot wait to try this on the salad. Now, actually, let me grab my cutting mat again. I'll tap all this up. I want to show you how to use our avocado tool, because this chicken burrito bowl is going to be great with an avocado. If you choose to add the avocado into the jar before you eat it, what you want to do is squirt a little bit of lime on it so that it doesn't brown as quickly. So you may find that it is going to brown a little bit depending on how many days you let it sit in there. So for me, I like to wait and use and do this when I'm ready to eat it. So I don't eat my lunch away very often, so I do have that luxury. But if you're not able to take this with you, so don't fly with this. If you're not able to take this to work or school or wherever you're going, then you're going to do this step ahead of time. Now, this does not come with this little guard, but this is a paring knife cut replacement part from Pampered Chef, and I put it on here because I'm really good at cutting myself. If you notice, I have a little place on my hand here I'm trying to keep closed, but that's always my #1 goal every day, is to not cut myself. So our products are really sharp, which is what you want, but if you want to cover for that, let me know and I will help you order it. I think they're under $2. So all right, we're going to cut around. One side is like a knife, a steak knife, and the other side is dull. So you always want to make sure that you're paying attention to what side is where. Then you're going to flip these apart, and then this piece here, you just hook it on there and just twist, and it's going to pop that out. I said that. It didn't stick to it, so I don't want to smush my avocado, but push a little harder than I did, and then twist, and it should stick on there. Now, for the next step, I want to use the dull side and not the sharp side. So always make sure that the sharp edge is facing away from you if you're going to be using this in your hand, all right? Because you don't want to go through this and then cut your hand and need stitches. So you're going to slice it, and then you can come through here and dice it. Take that, still staying on that dull side, and then you can scoop out all of the avocado, and then you can put that in your salad. So that is our avocado tool, and let me make sure I haven't forgotten anything. For that chicken burrito bowl, when I'm ready to serve that, I am going to put some cheese on there. You could put the cheese on the top like I did for the salad that I dumped out here in front of you guys today. And I could do that, but for the sake of time and on the video, I'm not going to shred the cheese for that right now. But if you guys have any questions about salad in a jar, the concept, or questions about hosting your own salad in a jar party with your friends, I would love the opportunity to help you with that. If you're interested in any of the products that I showed you guys today, I would love the opportunity to be your consultant. I've been a consultant with the Pampered Chef for over 24 years and would love the opportunity to be your consultant as well. So I always do this. If you watch my videos, I always look around, make sure I haven't forgotten anything. It's possible that I have, but if you have any questions, let me know, and I can't wait to see pictures of your salad in a jar creations and your bento box creations that you come up with. So be sure to share pictures with me. I always love to hear from you, and I have more videos coming, so you guys stay tuned. Bye for now.